Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The Philippines has administered over 1.2 million doses of vaccines against the coronavirus disease as of April 13, according to the latest government data. Based on the Vaccine Statistics Bulletin of the Department of Health and the National Task Force Against COVID-19, a total of 1,255,716 vaccine doses have been administered out of the 3,025,600 doses delivered to the country. Of the number, 64%, or 1,093,651 people, have received their first dose, while 9.5%, or 162,065, have been fully vaccinated after getting their second dose. In a span of 1 week, the health department said the government distributed around 900,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines to 2,988 vaccination sites across the country. Latest government data also showed that the country's current 7-day average of daily vaccinated individuals was at 47,545. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country is now almost 900,000, as the DOH reported an additional 8,122 new infections on April 14, pushing the nationwide tally to 892,880 cases. The Department of Health believed that local government units should implement proper scheduling of distributing cash assistance or administering the COVID-19 vaccines to avoid crowding in the venues. This as the department expressed concern of such activities becoming super spreader events. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire said they have yet to observe any decline in COVID-19 cases in the country, despite the recent imposition of the Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. The health official also said that they do not expect any surge in cases in the next few months. With regards to National Task Force Against COVID-19, Chief Implementer Secretary Carlito Galvez's statement on possible surge in COVID cases in June or July, she believes it was taken out of context. Vergeire said that we must always be ready for any possible circumstance that cases will arise again in the coming months, and that the government continues to improve whatever capacity it has when it comes to our health system. Experts of the Octa research team urged the government to focus the limited supply of vaccines to areas with high COVID-19 cases, particularly Metro Manila and Calabarzon. Research fellow Professor Ranjit Rai said the group supports the risk-based approach for the allocation of vaccines, but with the scarcity of vaccines and growing clamor to reopen the economy, he said the government may want to reallocate spaces. While the COVID-19 reproduction number is going down, Rai said that we are not yet or where we're supposed to be. We're still not yet out of the woods, and the surge is still with us. Rai noted new cases of COVID-19 remain high, with the country reporting an average of 10,000 cases per day, including about 5,000 daily cases in Metro Manila. Octa is hoping that this week we will see some trends that would indicate if the MECQ is working. Rai said they envisioned a stricter MECQ, but what we are getting now is a more liberal version of the MECQ, and they are hoping that with all our collective efforts, the surge will go down. If it doesn't work, Rai said, let's go back and have a frank conversation about going back to ECQ. Malacanang said President Duterte's possible course of action to address the tension in the West Philippine Sea are covered by the exemption to freedom of information. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque made a statement after the National Task Force West Philippine Sea reported that at least 240 suspected Chinese militia vessels were lingering in the disputed waters. In his press briefing on Thursday, Roque said the president's exercise of diplomatic initiatives are not covered by freedom of information. Roque, however, remained hopeful that the issue will be settled through the friendship that the Philippines has cultivated with China. Meanwhile, the palace officials said that the Philippines remains committed to the crafting of the Code of Conduct in the South China Sea. On Friday, Roque said that the National Task Force West Philippine Sea has always been consistent in invoking Philippine sovereignty and sovereign rights over the disputed waters.
Ang larangan ng diplomasya, isang exception to freedom to information. Kung ano man ang ginagawa ng presidente, hayaan na natin gawin niya yon sa isang pribadong pamamaraan dahil hindi naman po dapat inaanunsyo sa publiko kung ano yung mga diplomatic initiatives at hakbang na ginagawa ng Pangulo. Needless to say, kaya po yan covered by exception dahil the president must make the right decision no matter what. So let's leave the president to his devices. Napakita naman po niya na so far, in the past 5 years of his administration, we have moved from a position of antagonism with China to a position of friendship. At malaki naman po ang mapapakinabang natin ngayong nakakapag-usap tayo ng bansang China.
In Metro News, Pasay senior citizens can get COVID-19 jabs through walk-in. Muntinlupa residents suggest dividing financial assistance among the total population. And Tondo Hospital gets new 128-slice CT scan machine. More from this report.
Senior citizens who do not want to register online can still get inoculated against coronavirus disease by directly going to the vaccination sites in Pasay City, Mayor Eme Calixto said Wednesday, April 14. Robiano said the city's designated vaccination sites are Andres Bonifacio Elementary School, Juan Sumulong Elementary School, T. Paez Elementary School, and the Pasay City West High School. The mayor said that they would also allow persons with comorbidities to get vaccinated through walk-in if they have adequate vaccine supply. Pasay City has a total of 42,266 senior citizens. Amid the ongoing distribution of national government's financial assistance or ayuda, a Muntinlupa resident has suggested dividing the entire fund among the city's total population so everyone will have a share. Felix Verto Manganda of Barangay Bayanan in Muntinlupa has posted several videos on Facebook to express his frustration over the distribution of financial assistance. The national government has allotted 442.19 million pesos for the financial assistance in Muntinlupa, and according to Maganda, this can be divided among the city's population. According to the city government, they are following the circular on the priority list of beneficiaries. Other possible recipients will be endorsed by each barangay, and the city's social service department will make the verification. The city government cannot divert from the guidelines, and the distribution of the funds is subject to liquidation. The GAT Andres Bonifacio Memorial Medical Center has unveiled its new GE Revolution Evo 128-slice computed tomography scan machine or CT scan machine on Wednesday, April 14. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso, Vice Mayor Maria Sheila Hani Lacuna Pangan, and GABMMC Director Dr. Ted Martin attended the ribbon-cutting event in the hospital. The Japan-made CT scan was part of the Office of the Mayor's plan to further improve health services in the nation's capital. Dumagoso said the machine was produced by the Office of the Mayor as part of its long-term plan to further improve health services in the city, help patients who cannot afford CT scans, and increase the probability of patients surviving critical situations.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. 4 Butuan nurses volunteer to help fight coronavirus in Manila. COVID-19 vaccines among damaged in Misamis Oriental capital fire. And Pagudpud Beach, hailed as one of the world's most beautiful by a U.S. travel site. Here are the details.
4 nurses from a private hospital in Butuan City have volunteered to be sent to the National Capital Region to help curb the rising number of coronavirus cases. In a statement, the Manuel J. Santos Hospital said the nurses who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 flew to Manila on Wednesday and would be assigned to its sister hospital, the Makati Medical Center. This is the second time in a span of 1 year that nurses from Manuel J. Santos voluntarily flew to Manila to help fight COVID-19. At the height of the pandemic last year, 8 of their nurses volunteered to serve at the Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital in Manila. Around 30 vials of CoronaVac vaccines were among the items damaged in a fire that broke out in one of the buildings of the Misamis Oriental capital on Wednesday evening. According to the Fire Bureau, the vaccine container was safe, but unsure if these can still be used since storage of the vaccines requires low temperatures. The blaze, estimated to have damaged 1.4 million pesos worth of items, was declared fire out at around 8:56 p.m. Apart from the COVID-19 vaccines, other vaccine vials for polio and anti-rabies were also stored in the building. The Saud Beach in Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte, which was dubbed as the Boracay of the North, was included on the 25 most beautiful beaches in the world list by American magazine Travel Plus Leisure. The New York-based travel magazine raved about Saud Beach's white sand and clear as glass waters, further describing it as like a real-world example of a zero-entry swimming pool. The Department of Tourism hailed the inclusion of Saud Beach in the International Travel Sites A list, adding that the said recognition is a first for the coastal town. Aside from its beaches, Ilocos Norte is also known to have many heritage sites and natural wonders, including the UNESCO World Heritage listed Paoay Church, Bangi Windmill, Kapurpurawan Rock Formation, and the sand dunes of Lawag.
In world news, World Health Organization worried COVID rates could spike during Ramadan. France to offer free therapy for children affected by the COVID. And Canada will grant permanent residency to 90,000 students and foreign workers. Let's watch this report.
The World Health Organization expressed concern Wednesday that the COVID-19 pandemic could worsen in the Middle East and North Africa during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. According to Ahmed Al-Mandari, the Cairo-based chief of WHO for the Eastern Mediterranean, detected cases of COVID infection in the region rose 22% last week, while death rose to 17%. The situation in the vast region reflects a worrying trend. WHO's regional head of emergency preparedness suggested measures that could be taken around mosques during Ramadan, including physical distancing, ventilation, and regular disinfection. President Emmanuel Macron on Wednesday announced that France would offer free therapy sessions with a psychologist for children and adolescents whose mental health had been hurt by the COVID-19 pandemic. France's social security system will fully reimburse a total of 10 sessions with a psychologist for children aged between 3 and 17, Macron said on a visit to a psychiatric treatment center in the city of Reims. Cases of anxiety and other psychological problems had been increasing among young people in a way that had not been seen during the first lockdown against COVID-19 last year, according to Macron. Canada will grant permanent residency to more than 90,000 foreign students and workers who helped treat patients during the pandemic, the immigration minister announced Wednesday. The program, in effect from May 6, is intended for workers with at least 1 year of work experience in healthcare or dozens of other sectors deemed essential, from grocery store cashiers and shelf stockers to truck drivers and farm workers, as well as graduates who have completed a post-secondary degree within the last 4 years. Immigration Minister Marco Mendicino said the measure should help Canada reach its targets of welcoming more than 400,000 immigrants this year, compensating from a drop in immigration last year when the border was closed.
In entertainment, a petition has been filed demanding Korean actor Kim Jong-un, star of the dramas Mr. Queen, Crash Landing on You, and Time, to leave the entertainment industry due to the controversies he is facing. The petition was filed on April 12 on the website of the Office of Korean President Moon Jae-in, or the Blue House. In the petition, it said that not only did he participate as a male lead in the historical distortion drama Mr. Queen, but he recently contacted other agencies 11 months ahead of the contract period with his management company, causing controversy. The petition also accused Kim Jong-un of gapjil, or abuse of power, against his co-star and on-site staff during the time he filmed the drama Time in 2018. The petition has garnered around 473 signatures so far. In sports, organizers of the Premier Volleyball League, or PVL, are looking at alternative plans on holding its open conference and restrictions brought by the pandemic. PVL President Ricky Palou said one plan is to hold a tournament bubble in Subic depending on the quarantine situation in the coming months. The scheduled opening is already moved from May 8 to late June or early July to give ample training time for 12 participating teams. The tournament bubble is penciled at the Inspire Sports Academy in Calamba, Laguna since early this year, but the rising number of new and active COVID-19 cases in the NCR and nearby provinces prompted the government to implement the MECQ on these places until the end of the month. With training also disrupted, Palou said other teams are also looking at holding a training bubble outside of NCR where there are fewer restrictions. And those are the news on Web today, April 15, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mbe.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed. And